You are the warlock known only as Gavin. You stand before the infamous Cursed Windmill as the one foretold to be the last to enter into its interior in search of its legendary treasure. You arrive on a moonless night in the middle of a storm. Gather your courage and approach the door. For good or ill, your quest begins now. You ascend the short wooden staircase up to the stone landing in front of the door. If you have one shoe, you step on a nail and make the next check at disadvantage because of the pain in your foot. The stone door in front of you is covered in carvings of grinning skulls and runes that, though you cannot understand them, seem blasphemous and terrifying to you. As you look upon this door, not only do you get the feeling that it is somehow very, very wrong, you can feel it looking back at you, and your soul shrivels in terror. Roll against fear. If you fail, you flee into the night, never to be seen again, and your story ends here. If not, open the door and continue on into the dimly lit interior. You pass through the door and find yourself in a cavernous chamber far too large to possibly fit within the confines of the windmill. The air is heavy and wet. Several broken stained glass windows line the outer walls, their cracked panes filtering faint daylight into slanted, diseased beams. Most of the floor before you is taken up by an immense pit, a churning carpet of writhing, pallid maggots. The sound is wet. Several hungry ghouls stumble and snarl among the living tide, their gray flesh crawling with the vermin that are slowly devouring them. Their mouths open and close soundlessly as though trying to remember how to scream. Across the pit you see a door in the inner wall partially open with stairs leading up beyond it. It is the only way forward. To reach it, you must fight your way past the ghouls through the maggot pit. Roll against unlucky. If you have one shoe, the maggots find their way into your exposed flesh. They burrow through your foot, following the pulsing warmth of your blood until they reach your brain. You die horribly and are reborn as a ghoul, doomed to stumble endlessly in the pit until the maggots finish you over the course of a decade. Having both shoes will not save you. The ghouls still grab you, drag you down, kill you and eat you, and if you are very, very lucky, they'll do it in that order. If somehow you win the encounter, you haul yourself out of the pit, slick with filth and half certain you're already dead. You pass through the inner door and begin to ascend the stairs beyond. Your story continues. For now. You pass through the inner door, dripping with the foul and occasionally wriggling souvenirs of your recent struggle. Behind you, the sounds of the pit fade into an indistinct, wet silence, gradually replaced by the solemn trudge of your feet on the heavy stone steps. About half an hour into your climb, it occurs to you couldn't possibly have seen daylight through those shattered windows. Not with a storm raging outside, not in the dead of night. There's no way to turn back and check now. Best keep moving forward. The endless staircase. An hour later, your legs begin to burn. A day after that, everything hurts. You know that you have to keep going. If the reality of this endless staircase locks around you, you will never get out. Roll against weakness. If you fail, you pause for just a second. Maybe you don't even sit down. Maybe you just put your hand against the wall and lean, taking a single moment to breathe. It doesn't matter. The staircase becomes real around you. Solid. Eternal. Whether you climb up or down now, it stretches forever, and you will die of hunger or thirst in its spiraling, pointless coils. If you succeed, a day later you haven't stopped. A week passes, a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years. After 10 years on the staircase, you've forgotten what it's like to be anywhere else. Every breath feels like it should be your last. Every muscle burns, and you cannot remember a time when they didn't. Finally, you can't take it anymore. You fall forward, face first, onto cold stone. The floor is flat. You've reached the top. The treasure room. You have won, but what has it cost you?
Looking around you, in the vastness of the treasure room, you see heaps of gold, jewels, magical harps, and enchanted swords and shields. But what you mostly see, sleeping atop the huge mountain of gold, is an ancient and ghostly dragon who has been here for so long that his name has been forgotten to history. The blue ghost fire he's exhaling lights up the treasure very faintly, and his gold-black scales even less. You notice with terror that he seems to be stirring. He knows you're here.
Well, thief, the great beast intones with a sneer, I assume you have something to say for yourself? Its voice is not just singular, but echoing countless voices like a legion of the damned. You know with all the certainty in your heart that you cannot permit this creature to continue speaking. If you listen to its poisonous words for too long, fear will paralyze you and you will be defeated without ever lifting a finger. Pushing fear down as far as it will go, you begin to act, to cast your spell. Your fingers trace slowly and dexterously through the air, leaving glowing green trails that form eldritch runes and sigils of horrible power. Your voice intoning syllables and then words that you do not understand that call upon ancient treaties and entities of hateful and infernal might. You finish the spell not a moment too soon, opening up a shadowy pit in the floor, lit by the light of ghostly hellfire deep within. From out of its depths spring fiendish chains, wrapping themselves around the dragon and pulling it within the fiery chasm and then closing behind it. The ghost dragon is vanquished. You have been victorious. However, at the moment of the beast's defeat, its vast treasure room vanishes like a fading dream, leaving you on the actual top floor of the windmill, its roof mostly gone, the rain gathering in puddles on the stone floor. You have a brief moment to bask in your triumph and start mentally writing your legend before you slip on the rain-slicked floor and hit your head. Now you remember that you are prophesied to be the last one to ever enter this windmill. No one will ever find you or even know what happened to you. They will not come looking. You have truly defeated one of the most infamous monsters of history, only to have your story end by a wet floor and gravity.
Your story is over, and I bid you good day.